This arena has a money stake in one of our famous couples as we play the game of celebrity gossip, Tattletales. And here's the star of Tattletales, Bert Convy.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Tattletales. Thank you for tuning in. Nice to have you with us. I feel good today. Do you have days like that? Maybe it's spring, isn't it? Is it spring already? That's what it is. I don't know when it started, but I guess spring fever is not coming this way. I just feel good. I hope you do too, and I hope you all do too after today's show. And we're going to see if we can help that along by introducing our three celebrity couples. Don't they look pretty, all of them right there? Winning money today for the blue section, ladies and gentlemen, Nancy Sinatra and her husband, Hugh Lambert. Now, Hugh, you're kind of on a streak here.
Yeah, right.
We won't say a winning streak. We'll just say a streak, and we want to see how you're going to do today. Nancy, do you think you've got it figured out?
Well, we did so bad last time. Maybe this time we'll do a little better.
Yeah,
gotta be.
Maybe.
I think you're gonna do terrific today.
Okay.
Just think positively. Winning money today for the banana section, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Steve Forrest and his wife, Chris. Hold it down, bananas. Hold it down. They're trying to give due respect to an officer of the law. How are things on SWAT, Steve?
Things are great on SWAT.
Oh. Isn't that funny, Steve? I thought your voice had changed. I was looking right at Steve when you said that, Chris. Very well done, Chris. How are things going at home, Steve?
Very well.
Very well. Okay, you guys
Keeping
work
the
great
home
together,
fires
you know
burning.
that? Winning money today for the red section, visiting us from Match Game 75, Mr. Gene Rayburn and his wife, Helen. Well, it's nice. I've seen you in this kind of role before, Gene, but it sure is nice to see Helen here.
Yeah.
Thank you for
Thank you,
coming and being
darling.
with us. It's
Thank
really a
you.
pleasure. Gene, how are things with you, sir?
Splendid.
Yes.
Couldn't be better.
Yes, I know that.
Couldn't be better.
That's wonderful. And good luck with your blank today.
Here we
Smarten
go.
up, dummy.
First question, gang. Worth $150. This is it. Men, have you ever written anything on the walls of a public place? Don't say anything. Men, have you ever written anything on the walls of a public place? Think about it, fellas. We'll come back and find out in a minute. I don't know if they've written anything. They sure as heck have read some things, though. How about you? Do you think you was ever...
That could be something. That could be a sign painter too. Really, couldn't it?
Yes,
Except
yes.
Hugh
Could be a
doesn't
sign
paint
painter.
signs, though. So that's really a pretty disgusting question.
Well, no, I mean, graffiti has become really an art form, really.
But that's before Huey's time. You forget he's an old man.
Oh.
You know, he doesn't know
I
about
see.
that. Let's see. No,
No,
he's too much of a gentleman.
he has never written
Nonsense.
anything
No, of course not.
on a public place wall. All right, let's bring him on and find out. Hugh, have you ever, in fact, written anything on the walls of a public place?
Never have.
That's what she said.
I'd like to.
What was that?
I'd like to.
Yes, you. Hugh, just for fun, what would you write if you did?
Can't say it.
Can't say. You've got something you're just dying to put up there, huh?
That's right.
Okay, thank you. You put something on the board for the blue section. Very well done. Chris, how about Steve?
Well, he is a gentleman, but I kind of think he has so much to say that I don't think that he really would confine it just to paper or to conversation. So I'm going to say that some perhaps beautiful words he inscribed maybe at one time in his life.
Really?
Yes, I'm going to say that.
Okay, that's... listen, if you have the time, you might as well be doing something like... let's bring on Steve and see what he says. Steve, have you ever written anything on the walls of a public place?
Again, too easy. No.
No, not too easy because Chris said yes. She said yes, a look of amazement.
I don't believe it.
She said, she said beautiful words.
I
Yes, she said
did.
beautiful words. But
Yes, I didn't think she knew it, though.
Did you?
Like Steve loves Chris or something.
Oh,
right?
yes. Oh, now that's nice. Did you ever really do that? No, huh?
No, actually, I've carved things in a tree, but I don't think that's literally. But I don't think that would qualify.
Probably
that
not
question.
what we had in mind. No, sorry about that,
Well,
Steve.
talk to her later.
Yes, give her a swat later. Helen,
Yeah.
how about Gene? What's he going to say?
Well, other than his phone number and the hours that he's home, I don't think he would. No, he wouldn't.
He never
He's a
has. Huh?
gentleman.
Call me quick or none of those things like that, huh?
No.
Okay. My wife is she doesn't write on the walls, but she corrects the spelling. It's true. She says, it's terrible. That's S goes here, the E goes. All right, let's bring on Gene. Gene, have you ever written anything on the walls of a public place?
I like to read them, but I've never written them.
That's what she said. You're right.
I mean, just look at me.
What's that, Gene?
Just look at me. Dark blue suit with a nifty silk tie and a waistcoat and all that. Would I write? I mean, I love to read them. What was the question and some of those nifty ones there.
But is that the man who would write on a public place?
No,
Never.
never.
Gene and
Never.
Helen, Nancy and Hugh, split the opening pot and we'll come back and split all the rest of them in just a moment after these messages for you.
Your happiness and health depend on...
Here we go. Question number 2 coming up. Now, I predict this one poses a bit of a predicament. Listen to this, fellas.
Can I go home now?
No. You're on your way to the racetrack, and a friend says he wants to give you $20 to bet on a long shot. He forgets to give you the $20. So you put up your own money, the horse wins, and you collect $1,000. Now, when your friend says, "Darn it, I forgot to give you the $20," what do? You give him the whole $1,000, split it with him, or keep it all for yourself? There's a bit of a dilemma there, my friends. You're on the way to the racetrack, a friend says bet $20 on a long shot, but forgets to give you the money. You bet the money for him anyway. It wins $1,000. Your friend says, "Golly, I forgot to give you the 20. What do? Give him the whole $1,000, split it with him, or keep it all for yourself? A good question, fellas. Think that one over. We'll come back and see how you feel about it. Oh, wow. We'll start with you, Chris. Now, you know the choices. Your options are for him to keep the whole $1,000, to split it with his friend, or to give him the whole $1,000.
Yeah, I got to do better than last time. I'm going to say that he'd split it.
He'd split it with him. Okay.
Yeah.
50-50 or what? That's not. You don't
You
have to
didn't
do
ask that.
No, you don't have to do
All
that. I
right.
was just curious how you
Okay.
think he'd
I'm
do
not
it.
sure he'd give it 50-50, but anyway, I'll
He'd
say
split it. Okay, let's bring him on. Steve, what are you going to do? You got $1,000 in your hand. The guy didn't give you the money. You bet it. Are you going to give him the whole $1,000? Are you going to split it with him? Or are you going to keep it all for yourself?
I'd split it with him.
That's what she said. How about that? That's 3. Those are tough choices. What kind of split would you give
this
to
is
Steve?
the one that could have busted up our marriage. 26 years down the drain.
How would you split it, Steve?
Well, I'd give him half of it.
Yeah, I think
I'd give him half of it.
all
I mean,
right.
assuming that he really meant it and literally, as you said, forgot to give me the $20. Yeah, I'd split it with him.
Split it with him. Okay,
Sure.
fine.
Assuming he was a friend, I'd like to keep him.
Yeah. Provided he didn't talk like this.
Yeah.
Then you'd give him all of it.
If it was Sheldon Leonard, I might give him all of it.
Thank you, Steve. Helen, how about Gene? What's he going to say?
Oh, you pose a pragmatic question. I think Gene would split it with him.
You do?
Yeah. I don't know what the split would be, but he'd be nice. Give him a nickel. He'd split.
Okay, let's bring him on and see what he says. Gene, what are you going to do? The guy comes to you and says, golly, Gene, I forgot to give you that 20, didn't I? How about my money? You got $1,000. What are you going to do? You're going to give it to him, all of it? You're going to split it with him, or are you going to keep it yourself?
Now listen. If she's heard me say it once, she's heard me say it 1,000 times. While there is much gray area in the field of human endeavor, in the area of honesty, there is no gray area. Either you are honest or you are dishonest. You got to give the guy the money and then let him make the decision about whether he wants to give you any.
That's not what Helen said.
You're really boring, you know.
And you're a crook. My wife is a crook.
Yes, well, actually, what she was doing was predicting that you would do the split. So, what does that make you, Gene, sir? A little gray area in there.
She's a crook. I am perfectly and totally honest.
Sorry about that, Gene. It's the way it goes, though.
Would you
Nancy,
buy a used car from that woman?
in a minute, and I drive away with her in it, too. Nancy, how about you? What's he going to say?
I'm going to go way out on an Italian limb right now and say that he would give the guy the money.
He'd give him the whole thing.
Yep.
All right. You're out on
Because he would have bet his own $20, and he'd already have his own 1,000. He would
Hey.
have bet 20 for his friend and 20
for himself. Okay, I hope he's gotten the same
I'm going on
screenplay
what I
that you
think
have.
his logic is, you know. I don't know. Never mind. Just ask him.
Okay. We'll ask him, see what he says. Come on, Hugh. Hugh, what are you going to do? You got the $1,000. You bet your own money. He forgot to give you his 20. Now he says, hey, I forgot to give you the 20. What are you going to do? Are you going to give him the whole 1,000? You're going to split it with him, or you're going to keep it all for yourself?
I'm going to give it all to him.
That's what she said. Very well done.
And regret it.
You and Nancy, Chris, and Steve split that pot. We'll change places at halftime. Ladies, if you will, step to the rear. We'll bring the fellas out here. While we're doing that, we'll break away for a minute. Then we're coming back with the second half of Tattletales.
We all know that movement is like...
Order now.
Here we are, gang. Back to the madness on Tattletales. We have more fun when you're gone. You ought to come and see us in person, really. This question is worth $150. Ladies, if you're ready, it's for you, and this is it. Statistics show that the average wife lives 5 years longer than her husband. Some say it's because men lead more stressful lives. Now, do you think you have as much stress in your life as your husband does? Okay, statistics show that the average wife lives 5 years longer than her husband. Some say it's because men lead more stressful lives. Now, do you think you have as much stress in your life as your husband does? Think about that, girls. The answer is yes and no. There they go, and we'll start off with Jean. Between you and Helen, do you think that her life is as stressful as yours?
At least.
At least?
Yes.
Well,
you know, I think the wife of somebody in our business has a real hard time.
No question about it.
Identity crisis and all that stuff, and I'm playing it straight here. I hope she's going to play it straight and say yes, because I believe that she has at least, if not more, stress than I have.
Yes, because they have double duty.
That's right.
You're working on your career. She has to help you with that and also take care of the other
And it's always a baloney.
thing.
Oh, there's Jean's wife and all, you know.
Yeah,
sure.
So
it's hard for the ladies. It really is.
Okay, you're going to say that she will say yes, she does. Let's bring her on. Helen,
Yes.
do you think that you have as much stress in your life as your husband does?
Living with Rayburn is stress enough. No, I don't have it.
Oh, that's not what he said. He thought you'd say yes.
I said it was harder for you because, you know, it's identity crisis time and all that. Listen, I think you better consult a lawyer.
Oh, if you do, you'll be the first ones we've had on Tattletales. People are always saying that people ever get divorces. I say no, but we've had 2 near murders is what we've had. Sorry about that, Gene. Thank you. Hugh, what's Nancy going to say?
She's going to say yes, I think, because between a new baby and having to work professionally, and she's always complaining about having to do hair and makeup and housework. Yeah, she's going to say yes.
Sure, because she's a performer and a mother and a wife and all. So she's got just
Plus
as much.
a huge Italian family.
Yes. So she has as much as you. You'll say yes. Let's bring her on. Nancy, do you feel that you have as much stress in your life as your husband does?
It's a tough question, Bert. I think I do.
That's what he said. You're right.
I know you do.
Boy, I tell you, you two are really... Look what's happening with you two. All of a sudden, you're the smarty pantses. Okay, thank you, Nancy. Steve, how about Chris? What's he going to say?
I think she has a lot of stress. But I think that she's going to say that I have more stress.
So she will say no. She does not have as much stress in her life.
She is going to say... That's not what I think.
Yes.
But I think she is going to say that I have more. She'll say... Right.
A simple
so
yes or no is all we're looking for.
No is what she'll say.
Yeah,
okay, let's
I
bring her
think so.
on. Chris, do you think you have as much stress in your life as Steve does?
No, I do not.
That's what he said. You're absolutely correct. Because you haven't been in a shootout in weeks, right?
You know it.
Why do you think you have not as much, or as much? I mean, not as much.
Because that's just the way I am. That's what he keeps telling me anyway.
Yes, he didn't think he was worried, weren't you?
Yeah, well, of course, she's one of the Golden Greeks, you know, which makes everything easier.
Oh.
He says
Yeah, she's the throwback from the Golden Age of the Greeks.
I see, all right.
And she does handle things extremely well.
Well, she handled that extremely well. You're right, because she got that right, and so did Nancy and you, and they split the pot. And we'll come back in a moment with our double $300 question. Let's see who's going to win this game. We'll come back too.
Settle down! One at a time. Who's first? Thank you. Next. Good. Try to make it funnier. A for effort.
See who passed the Whammy auditions on Press Your Luck, coming up next, only on Buzzer.
Now it works.
If you have COPD,
eliminating your debt now. That's 1-833-900-0601.
The audience is rooting home their celebrity couple. We got a good one here. Here we go. Ladies, this one worth $300. Aside from here on Tattletales, when was the last time you sat on your husband's lap? Within the last week, within the last month, or within the last year, or longer than that? Aside from here on Tattletales, when was the last time you sat on your husband's lap? Within the last week, within the last month, within the last year, or longer ago than that? Think about it, girls. We'll come back in a moment. There they go, the little darlings. Gene, we'll start with you. What's Helen going to say?
What's a lap? What's that? Would you repeat the question?
We'll run out of time.
When's the last time? I said, when's the last time Helen sat on your lap, you old fool? Oh, I wish I could remember how nice it used to be. It's old. I don't remember. I'm probably over a year.
So within the last year, no. You would say then longer ago than that.
That's what I'm going to say.
That's what you're going to say. You want to say it now, or did you just say it? That was it.
I said it.
You said it. I got to give you the credit. You said longer ago than that. Let's bring on Helen.
That's what I said.
Hello, Helen. Hello, Helen.
Hello, Bert.
Helen.
Yes.
When was the last time you sat on Gene's lap? Was it within the last week, within the last month, within the last year, or longer ago than that?
1942.
Listen, honey,
yes.
Honey,
that was a good year.
Do we have any pictures of that? I'd like to.
Oh, that's funny. You're absolutely right. 1942. Steve, what's Chris going to say?
People are simply not in that condition.
Oh.
The signals they've got worked out are fantastic. I think she's going to stick pretty much to the truth.
Which
within
is?
The last week.
Within the last week?
You bet.
Sat on your lap within the last week.
Would you like to give us all the details?
Tell us, sir.
We'll meet you after the show.
Yes, could you go on about that a little bit?
Well, I have to tell you that, yes, as a matter of fact, the lap sitting is one of the favorite things that we do, as a matter of fact. I'm
glad to
also
hear
a
that.
beekeeper. But lap sitting is first, beekeeping comes second.
I'm glad to hear that. I bet Chris
I
is
think
too.
lap sitting is great with Texans, you know. And
yes.
It's also great with Greeks, and
Yeah.
I'm a Texan and she's a Greek. I think she's going to say within the last
Within the last week.
I certainly hope
Let's
so.
bring her on and find out. Chris, when was the last time you sat on Steve's lap? Within the last week, within the last month, within the last year, or longer ago than that?
Oh, that's hard. Because my memory's better than his, and I'm going to say within the last month.
That's not what he said. Sorry about that.
is so wrong.
Tell her when it was.
She is so wrong.
What did you say?
4 days ago.
Oh, my God.
That day we were rained out in Malibu, I came home and you sat on my lap.
Now do you remember, Chris?
Remember the martini? It's all over.
Sorry about that.
You're right.
Chris, Hugh, how about Nancy? What's she going to say?
Well, her memory is better than mine, too. I'm going to have to play it safe and say within the last month.
Within the last month?
Yeah.
Okay, let's bring Nancy on and see what she says. Nancy, here we go. When was the last time you sat on Hugh's lap? Within the last week? Within the last month? Within the last year? Or longer ago than that?
I think it was within the last week.
No, that's not what he said. He said within the last month. He thought he better play it safe.
I couldn't remember this week.
Sorry about that, Hugh. That means Helen and Jean got the whole pot, gang. Time is up. The red section wins it. My goodness. Talk about coming from behind. We'll be back in a moment. You come back with us, too, won't you see it?
Attention everyone on Medicare. 7840. That's 800-863-7840.
The red section has done it today with Helen and Jean Rayburn. $375. We had a total of $1,375 for the red section. Goodbye, everybody. See you next time on Tattletales. Bye-bye.
This is Gene Wood speaking for Tattletales, a Mark Goodson, Bill Todman production. This program was edited for broadcast.
Pressing, here she goes.